Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday.
Yahoo!
It is the 30th of January. It is 5:34. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and hopefully you had a good sleep last night. A little bit dicey from the standpoint of the drive last night. The timing was just right in the middle of the rush hour.
It was awful.
So it wasn't very nice out there, but we didn't get a lot of accumulation.
No, we saw about 5 centimeters through much of Toronto, which is exactly what we were calling for, 5 to 10. I mean, areas a little bit further north got a little more. We'll show you those totals. Still seeing a little bit of lake effect.
I hit a couple of patches this morning where it was really touch and go.
Ramps.
So, ramps. Some of the right lanes closest, where the left lane is clear, right lane wasn't, and it was really icy. Just okay, slow down, slow down.
I had a moment of kind of panic. Some ice pellets, a little bit of freezing drizzle. Wasn't great. Long range coming up, but first, here's Tom. Well, we are going to see a little bit more snowfall accumulation depending on where you are. I mean, if you're up in the Barrie area, a couple more centimeters down through London, same story. That's just because of some lake effect. Once this cold front moves through, we've got Arctic air filtering in throughout the day. Temperatures are going to drop dramatically, as you just saw. We're looking at temperatures feeling like the minus 20s by this afternoon. A little bit of a warm front tomorrow warms us up slightly, but then Sunday we cool right back down again. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is January the 30th, 5:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. And this month is almost gone. Heading into February. Groundhog Day fast approaching. Very exciting times.
Doug Gillum, meteorologist, Dr. Doug, he's going to go head to head with that groundhog on Monday.
Head to head. Is he going to lay down on the ground? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Should be interesting.
Maybe they'll bring the groundhog to him.
You might have maybe. You never know. Should be interesting either way.
All right, we saw some snow yesterday.
So that snow and the temperature's dropping.
Okay, so apparently big news of the morning is that the Leafs lost again, and now they're the worst team in the league, and people are finding it kind of comical.
They've lost eight in a row, and I think they've scored maybe 6 or 7 goals, maybe in that 8. But really, it's pathetic.
What did you say to me before?
I can't stand it.
What did you do? No, but with something else you did.
I saw Kessel score and turned it off.
And that was it. He went to bed.
And Kessel, he's been having a little bit of a drought himself. But anyway, it's pretty bad. So I'm everybody's.
I'm wearing Maple Leaf blue.
Hey, listen, I've been waiting 49 years for them to win the Stanley Cup. So another couple of years. What the heck?
Well, yesterday there was some snow to get where they needed to go. Today, much better scenario, but cold, and the roads, as Tom was mentioning, are already icy. We'll talk about your long range, but first, let's get to those slippery sections. Tom? Pretty good day today. We've got sunshine in the forecast, but it is going to be cold. If you're heading the kids out to go tobogganing, dress for it. By tomorrow, we're actually going to get into a little bit of a warm sector with this next tiny little system coming in. It's not going to bring us a lot of moisture, maybe a few flurries, but for the most part, it's going to moderate our temperatures until the cold front moves through. And then it gets even colder for Sunday. System staying to our south, so you should be clear traveling for Super Bowl Sunday. Well, this clipper has now moved through, but we're seeing lake effect behind it with those northwesterly winds. So places around London and up through Barrie could see a little bit more accumulation. We're talking 2 centimeters at best for many areas. Temperatures are going to be very, very cold. They're going to be plunging throughout the day today, and the winds, they're going to help pick up all that fresh snow and blow it around, causing poor visibilities, as Tom was mentioning. Through Orangeville, through Guelph, through London, through Hamilton today, we're expected to see some sunshine, but really cold temperatures. Tomorrow, we've got a very weak system that's going to be pushing through our area. It's not going to bring us a lot of moisture, maybe a few isolated flurries, but what it is going to do is going to bring up our temperatures throughout the day tomorrow. So tomorrow is not going to be as cold as today. By Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, we've got a system to our south. Looks as though it's going to stay to our south. For Monday, Groundhog Day, high pressure moving in, but we could see a few isolated flurries. Will the groundhog see his shadow? That is the big story. Make sure you stay with us. It's the Wyerton Willie Festival this weekend. So if you've got plans to head up there for that, make sure you dress for it. Temperatures are going to be cold. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is the 30th of January. 4 minutes after 6 o'clock, I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and we have got a lot of problems out on the highways starting to deteriorate, especially down on the QEW and Fort Erie. Big mess. We'll update that coming up.
And the luckiest man on the planet joins us from Muskoka. He's at the Marriott Hotel, Mr. Kevin Yard, having a great time. Look, you even have like your smoking cardigan on, like you look like you're way more sophisticated than the rest of us today. Yeah, Kevin, you need the spa treatments way more than I do, right? Hey, thanks, Kevin. I'm so jealous of him right now. All right, we'll talk more about the long range. We've got plummeting temperatures today and over the weekend, but not a lot of active weather. We'll get to all those details. But first, Tom, slippery roads, yes, no?
Yeah.
Here's a quick look at the radar, and you can see we do have a little bit of lake effect coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, bringing slippery conditions through Berrien and through London. An additional few centimeters is what's most likely, but I think the biggest issue is going to be the winds. Right now, they're sustained at about 32 kilometers an hour, gusting to about 45. So all that fresh snow could certainly be picked up, blown around, causing slick roads, poor visibility in some areas. Today is going to be frigid, temperatures dropping throughout today. By the afternoon, we are going to be feeling closer to the minus 20s when you factor in the wind chill.
I can see you. I really can.
Thanks, Kevin. All right, as you can see on the radar, we do have some lake effect snow coming down Huron and Georgian Bay. We're only going to anticipate a couple of centimeters, but because of these winds that are going to be gusting 60 to 70 kilometers an hour potentially by this afternoon, we could see blowing and drifting snow, and temperatures that are going. You can check out more of Kim McDonald's videos on our website, theweathernetwork.com. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It's January the 30th. I'm Emily Vukovic. We are going to be seeing plunging temperatures today, but yesterday we were mild, rubbing the ditches and guardrails and that kind of thing, but still, regardless, it was an awful drive home yesterday. Today, if you are heading to Barrie or if you're off towards the London area, expect to see a little bit more lake effect. We've got bands coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. We are going to continue to see the winds pick up as well, so blowing and drifting snow could certainly be an issue. Temperatures, big story for the GTA right through the month of February. It looks as though we are going to be very, very cold. Temperatures into the minus teens, but feeling more like the minus 20s when you factor in the wind. If you're heading out tonight, it's a Friday night. I know a lot of people go out for dinner, go downtown, see a movie. It's going to feel like the minus 20s, like mid minus 20s. So you're certainly going to have to dress for it. Through the overnight, Toronto is going to feel closer to minus 24 when you factor in that wind. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Tom Reynolds. He has an update on some slippery road conditions. Kidding. I adore you, but I am very jealous. Lake effect snow and cold temperatures today. Go. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is January the 30th, 6:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. Slippery conditions in a lot of areas because of blowing and drifting snow. We've got a closure of the QEW. We'll talk about that coming up.
First, we're going to check in with Kevin Yard. The lucky man is in Muskoka at the JW Marriott Hotel. He's going to be enjoying dog sledding and facials. Like, who do you think needs a facial more, me or Kevin?
You, absolutely.
Totally.
I had to be careful how I said that.
Me, of course.
But I wouldn't mind a facial either.
Kevin, I adore you, but I kind of hate you today.
Yeah, me too.
I know. I'm loving it up here. It was a beautiful sleep at the JW Marriott. Okay, and what is that called again?
It's stained glass.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just a stained glass
What do I know?
piece
Okay.
of artwork. It kind of represents Canada and the area.
It does.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you so much, Gail.
Okay.
Emily, it's stained glass. I know you asked me the question back inside. Okay, I did. Back inside of the studio.
Nice try, Kevin. Face palm. All right. Your long range is coming up. Nice try. But first, here's Tom with traffic. Lake effect snow could be an issue through London and Barrie today, and that blowing and drifting snow could also be an issue with winds potentially gusting up to about 60 to 70 kilometers an hour. Lake effect snow amounts are not going to be substantial. I think our big story for the GTA is going to be our plummeting temperatures. By later on this afternoon, we'll see sunshine with a clear sky, but it'll feel like the minus 20s. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic, and the big trend right now for Canada, well, especially southern Ontario, for the next few weeks is really just going to be cold temperatures. We're not seeing any major snow systems coming our way. The weekend and into the middle of next week, we are looking at frigid air. We've got a big push of Arctic air coming in from the north. It's not just affecting us, but through the maritime provinces, right across the Prairie provinces. The only people that are really escaping it are British Columbia, which they normally do at this time of year because, hey, you know what? It's January, it's Canada, it's winter. It's what we can expect, right? We've got a frigid system to our south. Well, so we've got frigid air. We've got a system to our south. Now, some areas could pick up some very light snow from this, and it's going to be a big travel day for Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of people going out. If you're down towards the Niagara region, just prepare for maybe possibly some slippery conditions. For Monday, we've just got cold air continuing. It is going to be very blustery, so very windy. We've got some isolated flurries in the forecast. And then Tuesday, another weak clipper system starts to work its way through the lower Great Lakes, which means we're going to see some flurries. Now, as we get into late next week, the pattern stays exactly the same. I mean, this is just showing you the trend for February. A lot of areas right across the country saw that January thaw. we saw it for about a day, and that was about it. Normally we get at least a week of it, but no, not this year. Frigid air late next week right through southern Ontario, and then for the rest of the month of February, it's cold. But like I said, it's Canada, it's winter, it's what we get. Minus 11 for tomorrow, and it is going, or Sunday rather, and it is going to feel closer to minus 19 when you factor in the wind. So if you've got outdoor activities planned this weekend, if you're going up to the Wyerton Willie Festival, if you are heading up to any of the ski resorts, just make sure you bundle up because that wind, it's going to be chilly. As we get into next week, we've got some sunshine, high pressure in place, and by Wednesday, could see a little snow with that clipper coming through. I'm going to turn things over to Tom Reynolds right now. He's got an update on your commute. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Boy, there's so much going on these highways right now. It's crazy. There's a brand new one right at Highway 10 on the QEW. And we've got a closure of the QEW as well.
We can thank slippery roads possibly for that because of that snow we saw yesterday. Temperatures are cold. It's 4 minutes after 7. It's Friday. It is January the 30th. I'm Emily Vukovic.
I'm glad it's Friday, actually, and I'm Tom Reynolds, by the way. It's good to have Fridays, especially when there's Super Bowl going on, things like that.
Oh, yes. Are you making something special?
I'm going to make ribs. I decided on ribs.
Good for you.
Slow-cooked ribs.
I'm going to go to bed.
Are you?
That's what I like to do these days.
Okay.
Real
Well,
early.
You're pregnant.
That's my excuse.
It's not.
I'm growing a baby. I must go to bed at 5
I'm sure it's not easy having a child,
Yeah.
on your front.
It's not.
Through London, Kitchener, blowing, drifting snow, whiteout conditions, so it's not a pleasant drive out through that area.
We are going to be checking in with Kevin Yard. He is joining us from beautiful Muskoka. He's at the JW Marriott. He's going to be doing all sorts of fun things today. And Kevin, what are you up to right now? Well, today temperatures are going to be plummeting. We're going to feel like the minus 20s by this afternoon. Tomorrow, we actually get into a little bit of a warm sector, a little clipper coming our way, not a ton of moisture, but it's going to warm us up to minus 6, feeling more like minus 11. Sunday, feeling back into the minus teens, minus 19, but at least we're going to see sunshine right into the beginning of next week. Well, we are going to pick up a few isolated flurries today. We've got a bit of lake effect through Barrie and down towards the London area. Winds are certainly going to be a bit of an issue. They're going to be gusting anywhere between 60 to 70 kilometers an hour. So that could cause blowing and drifting snow, poor visibility throughout the region. Lake effect's not amounting to much. We're looking at a couple of centimeters, but I think our big story throughout southern Ontario for the next few days is certainly going to be our cold temperatures. A lot of Arctic air by this afternoon, feeling like the minus 20. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is the 30th of January. 7:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. It's been a bit of a challenge in some areas, driving, blowing, drifting snow to the west and north of us. So just be careful. We've had quite a few crashes this morning on in-town roads as well.
We've got Kevin Yard joining us live from Muskoka this morning. He's up to a whole bunch of fun stuff. So far, he's visited a bakery. He's gone to the restaurant at the hotel. I think he's going to do some outdoor activity. And Kevin, are you really going to go dog sledding today? Thanks so much, Kevin. And I do want to mention that Kevin has been outside for maybe 30 seconds before we threw to him there. So that's why he's not wearing his hat. That's not why he's wearing gloves. I mean, it's a cold start to the day. You really need to dress for it. Today, dropping throughout the day. Let's talk more about the long range, get you right into the weekend. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Well, temperatures, they're going to be cold, really cold. We're looking at temperatures into the minus teens this afternoon, feeling more like the minus 20s. By this evening, if you're heading out, if you're going out for dinner, if you're taking the dog for a walk, it is going to feel like minus 23 to Toronto. Up through Barrie, it's going to feel like minus 28. We do have a little bit of lake effect coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. It's not substantial amounts. We're looking at a couple of centimeters, but blowing and drifting snow could certainly be an issue. Temperatures warming up slightly for tomorrow, but then continuing cold right into next week. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. It is Friday. It's January the 30th. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. Love Fridays and looking forward to this weekend. Of course, Super Bowl. Lots and really good conditions for outdoor activities.
Absolutely. If you're heading north, maybe you're going up to Muskoka, you can join Kevin Yard. He's there today. And the lucky guy, he's on a snowmobile. Kevin, how does it feel? So fun. Thanks so much, Kevin. Today is going to be cold. I mean, you really need to dress for the conditions if you're going to be out and about. We'll talk about over the weekend and into next week, and I'll get into those details in just a moment. But first, Tom, any issues on the roads? Well, behind this cold front, that's where we're seeing our temperatures drop dramatically with all that Arctic air filtering in. We are going to be seeing a little bit of a warm-up tomorrow, just a touch, as we get into this warm sector. This very weak clipper that's not going to give us a lot of moisture, maybe a few flurries. But the good news is that our temperatures are going to bump up, so being going outside is going to be a little bit more bearable. Now, throughout the afternoon, we've got our winds that are going to be sustained anywhere between 20 and 50 kilometers an hour, gusting 60 to 70, especially the closer you are to the lakeshore. They'll start to ease tomorrow, but they'll be coming in from the south. That helps us with a little bit of a warm-up. But then behind the cold front, we are going to be seeing cooler temperatures continuing for Sunday into Monday and even into Tuesday of next week. Yeah, today is certainly going to be colder than tomorrow, and I'll show you that. Here's that lake effect that Tom was mentioning. Blowing, drifting snow, certainly an issue. I've gotten a tweet from somebody up in the Barrie area talking about numerous collisions. Less than 2 centimeters of snow. Still, if it's blowing and drifting, it certainly cause a lot of damage. We are going to continue to see cold air come in from the north. Temperatures tonight are going to be frigid, feeling more like the -20s. Tomorrow we bump up to about -6, but then Sunday, behind this next cold front, we return to a lot of frigid air. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is Friday, it's the 30th of January, it's 8:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and it's not a bad day out there, although
beautiful.
it is cold and getting colder fast.
Yeah.
By the way, just keep in mind, Ride will be out for Super Bowl.
Right.
All over the place.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to Super Bowl parties or at a party, please don't drink and drive. I'm not going to say it again. That's enough.
He likes to state the obvious.
I'm not going to say it again.
All right, let's check in with Kevin Yard. He joins us live from Muskoka this morning. And Kevin, you have been doing some amazing things. You have been snowshoeing and snowmobiling and eating lots of treats. And there's words you're going to a spa. I don't know. I'm pretty jealous.
I haven't been eating anything. No, they haven't fed me at all. Okay, yeah, lots of great food up here at the JW Marriott in Muskoka. Okay, and just run, right? Just lift your foot and run. Oh, she's fast. I'm ready to catch it up to her back inside the studio.
That makes my morning every time. Thanks, Kevin. Looking like a lot of fun. Today is cold, feeling like the -20s by this afternoon. We'll talk more about your long range, but first, here's Tom with traffic. I can't get it out of my head.
I know. He looks funny. He's having a good time. If you're heading out right now, we're not doing too bad. There are some areas still blowing, drifting snow. Be careful.
The reason there are whiteouts is because there is wind, and quite a lot of it. We've got wind gusts at about 50 kilometers an hour right now, but gusting anywhere between 60 and 70 kilometers an hour throughout the afternoon. So all that fresh snow, it's going to be blowing around, blowing and drifting snow. Not great to travel in. High pressure in place, tons of sun, but feeling like the mid-20s this afternoon. It's going to be even colder tonight. We warm up slightly with a southerly flow with this warm front coming in tomorrow, but then behind the cold front for Super Bowl Sunday, it is going to be much colder. I'm Emily Vukovic, and joining me, meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillum. It is all about the cold temperatures. Forget about the big snowfalls. We are talking the cold.
As we wrap up January, it's going to go on the record books 2 degrees below average. Now, that is a degree milder than last winter, but still colder than
1 degree.
Colder than it should be. And as we look at the next week, temperature's going to average, well, most days will be 5 to 10 degrees colder than we should be this time of year.
Okay.
It feels like winter, and now it looks like winter with the snow.
Yay, Canada. Yay, winter. We have to be positive about this stuff, right? Okay, so system to our south. I mean, what are the chances it's going to get closer to us?
Well, it is a significant Gulf low, so if you're headed to the States, I'll certainly keep that in mind. We could still pick up 1 to 3 centimeters, especially in the southern GTA. Also watching Hamilton into Niagara. Okay. Northeast wind off Lake Ontario will bring some enhancement to the snow Sunday night into Monday. It could get up into Burlington, but it doesn't look like a big story for us, just if you're headed south.
Okay.
The big story will be behind that system. The frigid temperatures pour back in. So again, here's our system departing to our south, and frigid, blustery with flurries to start next week.
All right. Sounds good so far. Tuesday, Clipper approaches. This is going to be more of an overnight system.
That's right. We'll look at another 3 to 6 centimeters Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Most of Tuesday dry, most of Wednesday dry. I put milder there just for you. Temperatures approach 0 on Wednesday for a couple hours, but the wind will be gusting to 70 kilometers per hour, so it won't feel very nice. And then Thursday, Friday, back into the deep freeze, some lake effect snow showers, and high temperatures 10 degrees colder than average.
So late next week and weekend, frigid.
Next weekend, but overall temperatures stay below average for most of February.
All right. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 30th of January. And if you're planning any kind of outdoor activities this weekend and you need some great ideas, let's check in with Kevin Yard. He joins us up in Muskoka today. And Kevin, on a snowmobile, how's it going? Yeah, that does look like a lot of fun, doesn't it? It's going to be a beautiful day. We've got lots of sunshine in the forecast, but yeah, Kevin was mentioning it's going to be cold. Yesterday we saw some fresh snow. That temperatures are going to be absolutely frigid today. They're going to feel a lot worse than they are. Now, if you are heading out this afternoon and you're up in Newmarket, it's going to feel like minus 24 today. Up in Barrie, minus 26. By tonight, I know a lot of people are planning to go out for dinner. If you're waiting for public transit, it's going to feel like minus 26 in Newmarket and minus 23 through Orangeville. And then it's still frigid right through the overnight, feeling like the mid-minus 20s. Lake effect snow, not incredibly impactful. We're only looking at about 2 centimeters through Barrie and down towards London. But still, if you're traveling, blowing and drifting snow could be an issue with some strong winds. High pressure firmly in place for today. And then we are going to be seeing a bit of a warm-up for tomorrow. So we'll still see some sunshine. But our winds are going to shift to more of a southerly direction as we get into this warm sector of this very weak clipper. Could be giving us a few flurries and a little bit of cloud cover, but that's it. Winds are a big story, gusting this afternoon, possibly 60 to 70 kilometers an hour. They'll start to ease for tomorrow, and then we return to cold temperatures come Sunday. Thanks so much, Kim. You can catch more of her videos around the world in 60 seconds at our website, theweathernetwork.com. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday, the 30th of January. Yesterday was cold, but it's not as cold as it's going to be today. So if you are heading out, if you live in the Barrie area, this afternoon we're looking at temperatures around minus 15, feeling like minus 26. It's going to feel like minus 24 through Kitchener. This evening, I know a lot of people are going to head out, go out for dinner, go out for the night. Dress for it, because by the overnight, we've got temperatures feeling like minus 26 through Hamilton, minus 26 through Kitchener, and feeling like minus 28 through Barrie. A little bit of snow today. I mean, we're looking at a small amount of lake effect. Blowing and drifting snow could certainly be an issue with those winds that have the potential to gust anywhere between 60 to 70 kilometers an hour. Not a lot of active weather in the next couple of days, but I certainly think our big story is going to be our cold temperatures. Cold today. As we get into this warm sector throughout the day tomorrow, we'll start to warm up just slightly, but then another cold front comes through and we return to frigid temperatures for Sunday.
I'm Rachel.
Beautiful Lake Simcoe, completely frozen. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. We've got cold temperatures today and no active weather on the way for the weekend, which is good news if you have outdoor plans. Now, yesterday, they picked up 21 centimeters, so it was certainly heavier bands in some areas than not. Today, our temperatures are frigid. Amounts are not going to be very significant throughout the areas that could see a little bit of lake effect. We're only looking at 2 centimeters through Barrie and down towards the London area. But what is going to be significant is the winds. We've got winds that have the potential to gust between 60 and 70 kilometers an hour. And that means it could pick up all of that snow, and blowing and drifting snow could be an issue. Poor visibility on the roads. We warm up slightly tomorrow. We get into this warm sector and our temperatures are going to bump up to about minus 6, but then behind that cold front we are looking at more frigid Arctic air coming in, so it's going to be cold for Sunday and right into the beginning of next week. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 30th of January, and it is a cold day today. But this weekend, we've got high pressure in place, so we are going to be seeing some sunshine. It's going to be a great weekend to get out and participate in outdoor activities, and that is exactly what Kevin Yard is up to. The lucky guy got sent up to Muskoka for the night. He's been doing all sorts of amazing things this morning, and right now, Kevin, it looks like you're mastering snowshoeing.
I am mastering snowshoeing. I know the last time I did this, I fell on my face, so hopefully I don't do it again. Now I know in these snowshoes you can actually run in them.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm going to follow you. Off you go, Emma,
right,
and
let's
back
do it.
inside of the studio. Watch me fall on my face. Woo! I think I've mastered this. Emma's pretty quick.
Where's Kevin? That was great. That kind of made my morning. Emma was running like a normal person and Kevin was not. It was great. Thanks, Kevin. All right, minus 11 is our daytime high today. That minus 26 is what it's going to feel like tonight. It'll feel like minus 24 through Kitchener. It is going to be very, very chilly. Newmarket feeling like minus 26, and the cold air just continues right through the overnight. Less than 2 centimeters with lake effect coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay today. High pressure in place, so we're going to be seeing lots of sunshine. We stay cold tonight and tomorrow morning, but by the afternoon, because we get into this little warm sector of this clipper that's not going to give us much moisture, probably a few flurries, but it's going to help us bump up our temperatures because we've got a southerly flow associated with it. Once that cold front moves through, however, by Sunday, cold air returns. System stays to our south. We could pick up a few flurries from that system. It's so marginal. It could just track a little bit further north and we could see something. Lots of events going on this weekend. Of course, the Wyerton Willie Festival is happening up in Wyerton, so if you want to go and check out the Groundhog and wave your finger at him and say your prediction better be correct. Our own meteorologist, Dr. Doug Gillen, was actually going head-to-head with the Groundhog on Monday, so we'll see who wins. Of course, Super Bowl Sunday, the weather looks great for traveling. Getting into next week, our next best chance to see a little bit of active weather comes in on Wednesday, but as you notice, our temperature staying well below our seasonal average, feeling much colder when you factor in the wind chill throughout much of the GTA. There you go. You learn something new every day. Thanks so much, Chris Sinclair. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It is the 30th of January. Thanks so much for joining us. Temperatures today are cold. By this afternoon, we're looking at really cold temperature values. Temperatures have been steadily dropping throughout the morning hours. We've already reached our daytime high, reached out at about midnight. It was about 0, and now it's just steadily dropping. And by this afternoon, it is going to feel like minus 21 when you factor in the wind. Up through Barrie, it's going to feel like minus 26 this evening, feeling closer to minus 25 through Kitchener. If you've got plans to head out, if you're going to be waiting for a taxi, if you're going to be waiting for any kind of public transportation, you really need to bundle because it's going to be cold. Not a ton of snow on the ground from this lake effect that we're seeing off of Huron and Georgian Bay, but it's enough that the winds could pick it up, cause blowing and visibility issues, so just take your time. Behind this cold front, we've got a lot of cold air coming in, and then tomorrow our temperatures actually warm up just slightly. Literally just slightly, because we get into the warm sector of this very weak clipper that doesn't provide a lot of moisture, maybe a few isolated flurries. Our winds are certainly going to be a big story coming in from the north, gusting 70 kilometers an hour, especially closer you are to the lake, the windier it'll be, so that is why it is going to feel so much colder. Not a lot of active weather over the weekend. Temperatures, however, are going to stay cold Sunday right through till next week. There you go. You learn something new every day. Thanks so much, Chris.